Okay.
Okay, great.
Oh, we ain't doing no video nah. I done tell Miguel not today.
I was wondering.
Not today. Miss Bar want to do video.
So we don't do
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
I come straight from work. I just sitting to my desk. Yeah.
You see, I'm a little greasy. I just come from work too.
I'm gonna change my clothes.
Same.
Yeah, so we still have to wait for 6 more persons. Mhm. 6 more persons. So I guess, well, Miguel gave them his number, the number to say if you have technical problems, he's available. Yeah, yeah. But this is the new normal.
Trying to get used to it.
Yeah, well, I feel sorry for parents who have younger children and they have to do the classes online because students, especially when they're young, grade 1 and grade
Exactly.
2. Gee.
Well, luckily for me, mine is 20 and he have to do his own.
Oh, well, lucky for me, I
Honest?
have no more small ones.
Me
All
neither.
of my baby is 23, my oldest is 32, and my second he'll be 31. So
Well, I
I'm
have
good.
one and he's 20, so.
Okay.
Wow, my baby
Welcome,
is 4.
Princess. Prince, everybody's on, eh? Let me take a register. That's
Hello.
Spain.
Yes.
Okay. That's Spain. That's Bar. That's Mackenzie.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
Samson.
Samson. Okay. Okay, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4 more persons. But if any of you have any idea what business of banking is all about?
No, ma'am.
Regular business, and you go to open an account. Just really talking about the business. You have the book, so with the book,
Yeah.
try to talk about the history first. Because like I say, a lot of times we don't even know how, the bank history, so I just try to put some history in there.
Well, I work for a credit union, so my experience with it is limited in a way.
How come? Because I thought the credit union offer the same, like a lot of the services that we offer.
We do. We
Mhm.
do offer most of the services, but we're limited in certain ways, like we're not allowed to open business accounts, for instance.
Okay, business accounts.
So,
What about churches?
no, that would still come under that. So we can only actually offer personal accounts.
Just personal. Are you able to do joint or just single?
Just single. I mean,
You can't.
you can do joint with one person.
Okay.
Like if it's a spouse or something like that.
Okay.
You
Okay.
can do joint
Yeah.
accounts, but
Okay.
some persons have been trying to open business accounts and
Y'all
charity
don't
accounts.
do.
We don't do any of those.
But I guess as soon as, because as soon as y'all start getting regulated, I guess they should at least ease some of the restrictions for y'all. Because I guess because y'all still not regulated as yet.
No. And then all of our transactions are still facilitated through commercial banks. Because we're not commercial, we can't do, for instance, wire transfers out of country.
No.
No.
Okay. Oh,
So that's why I say we're limited in some ways.
Yeah. You do term deposits, though. You do loans.
We do loans, term deposits. Yeah.
Credit card, because some credit unions, I know
So
they.
we do credit cards, but our credit cards are facilitated through Scotia. Like we do debit cards, and the debit cards are facilitated through Fidelity.
Through my bank. Yeah, I work there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Okay, y'all do the credit card through Scotia and the debit card through Fidelity. Okay.
Yes.
Well, the credit union has been around so long. How come it's taking so long for them to actually have their own setup?
I'm guessing Central Bank won't allow us to.
And two, because a lot of persons who are on the board and stuff like that, I think it all stems back to them. Majority of persons on your board, are they involved in banking?
No, like for instance, my board, I'm at with Bahama Islands Credit Union, so our biggest customer base is actually Atlantis. So all of the
Right,
members they're actually in the financial sector of Atlantis, but and the thing about it is the board is voted in.
right.
So
Yeah,
we don't really have much control over
right. Over it. Yeah,
who's
because they
there.
voted in. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's y'all used to be on Village Road, huh?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And now we're in Palmdale.
And the old Finco building, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to work there too.
Oh, at Fingo.
Yeah, right in that building. Right there.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
there now.
Excuse me, sorry.
Hi.
You mentioned textbook.
Yeah, you didn't get it. Miss Dean should have made sure. Miss Dean, I asked
Well,
if everybody got the book.
I asked her and she had told me to check back today, but I've been calling all day and I didn't get an answer.
Well, I'll speak with her and ask her about your book tomorrow. I'll speak with her. I'll text her tonight.
Okay, thank you.
I
Yeah.
didn't get a book as either.
Who says?
Nikia.
Okay.
Nikia.
Okay. Oh. Well, she told me because I asked her, said everybody got their books, and she said yes.
I
But she had to
went and
drop.
picked mine
She had
up
to drop
on
mine to
Friday.
me to work.
I went there on Friday on my lunch break and went and picked up mine.
Okay.
I picked
Yeah.
up mine on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, she told me to call first to be sure, but I didn't get an answer. So
Well, I will remind her about you both, so she should be able to call either her or Miss Johnson should be able to call y'all tomorrow. Well, at least this week, because we only have classes once a week.
right.
Yeah. So at least
Yes,
this week.
ma'am.
Yeah. Well, we'll give the other persons. We just need to wait for them. And so, Miss Spain, you work where?
Fidelity Bank.
Which one?
Right there.
You walk past our desk every day.
Every day.
Which one? Where's walk back in past your desk every day?
Right in the back of candy. I was at the front desk last week.
Oh,
doing the
that's
temperature.
you. Oh, you was trying to
Yes,
take my
ma'am.
temperature, and we was getting
Uh-huh.
the surface.
Uh-huh.
Okay, all righty. At least one time I had must see 6 persons from Fidelity in my class. 6, because I also teach risk management.
Okay.
Yeah, so last time I had 6 Fidelity persons in my class.
And I'm
Like I
from
say,
Fidelity as well.
which one? Who's that?
I work with Maud and Candy. I sit right behind Maud.
This the one who? Let me see. You sit right in the back of Maud.
Yes.
You in my class too?
Yes, I am.
That's when you don't know the names like
I
that.
know, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's 2. Like I say, one time I had 6. One time Naveen, who was HR now, she was in my class. You know, a couple persons was in my class. Miller was in my class. Who sits with you all too?
Candisha.
Yes, she was in my class.
Okay.
I'm not a hard person, even though one class, in my risk management class, they reported me to the office because they said they had so much work, and then I was giving them a lot of work and tests, and so I had to cool down because they say other classes was challenging as well as my class. So I took the bullet and I give in and eased down on it, and the other teacher, I guess, was giving them more. Yeah.
Mhm.
But like I say, the one thing I'm going to say, I like class participation. I don't, that's why I would say to you, I need you to read. And the only way we can participate if we read, we're able to come to the table, and that's the only way the class is made lively. If only me one is speaking and saying, okay, let's talk about savings account, and I'm the only voice, how boring is that?
Very boring.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So class participation, like we're doing right now, interacting, that is what I like. I like, for everybody has something to give. So when you read something you don't understand, you come and you say, okay, Ms. Smith, I didn't understand this. Can you expand on this? And then somebody else could be there and say, oh, this is what I think it means. And we just keep it going lively. Because like, say, for instance, right now, we decide to talk about COVID and everybody can participate, right? Because everybody could say, I don't know why they opened the borders now. All we have is COVID. And then somebody else could come along. So this is the same way when it comes to the business of banking and us having classes on Mondays. It's like making it fun, not, oh God, I have to go to that class. Lord, I have to go on Zoom, because you know why it's that way. And a lot of times student blame the teacher, but it isn't, because if we all participate, we all have something to give. So if we all participate, we're able to learn from each other. Some things you're able to learn, because like Miss Barr was saying certain things that she said I didn't know. But me
I put
asking
the
her
credit
questions,
one, yeah.
right? But me asking her questions, I didn't know that. I didn't know you couldn't open a company account, a business account. I didn't know that. I didn't know that y'all. I know the debit card part of it, but I didn't know the credit card part of it. So, like I say, you learn information, and even for persons who who work in the bank, some things they can bring to life more. So, because like I don't try to make the class just a notebook. We try to think out of the box and we share experience, like even with a customer service, when we reach the customer and customer relation, you'd see that everybody handles a situation different. Because like, say for instance, I'm a kind of person, customer service is very important. From working and coming up in the banking system, customer service was always important. So anybody who even work in Fidelity and work downstairs, sometimes they say, well, Andrea, why you carrying on? You work here, I say, as a customer. Remember that?
right.
I'm a customer
Yeah.
first. I
Mm-hmm.
even just write customer complaint, and I look at them and I be like, I'm a customer. Don't look at
Yes,
me as
ma'am.
no staff.
I
If you see
agree.
me, don't go in the back of the counter. Because a
Mhm.
lot of times people say, but you work here, why are you on the line? I say, because I'm a customer. Why should I go in the back? Another customer stand on the line. They have lunch hour just like me. So I'm on the line. And so when I go anywhere, if I go in a dress shop, anywhere, I'm looking for customer service. And if you don't give it to me, I'm going to speak out. I'm not going to grumble and say, oh, no, miss. You see me standing there for how long? Customer service, you talking? No, service. You work here? Couldn't be. And that's me. That's how I carry on. Because until we as a people learn that customer service is very important,
Mhm.
because you could offer me any product. You could say, oh, we have a savings, we have okay, yeah, this is our interest rate, but your service is not good. So you know what? Another bank offering me the same product but offering me less. They make me feel comfortable. They make me feel welcome. When I get to the counter, hi, Miss Smith, how you doing? How's your day? Because I'm a regular customer, I go in. So that's what you do. You get to know customer, and customers feel appreciated, especially the older ones. They feel appreciated that, hey, she knows my name, you know? It's
Mhm.
like that. Even before I say something to her, she knows
Mhm.
my name. But I think the younger people today, a lot of them, customer service is like, what she want? Look her
I
coming with
have
all them coins.
Can I say something?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
do agree with everything that you're saying. Like, for example, like how you said, it feels good when someone says your name, like they know you as a customer,
Mhm.
and it makes you want to come back.
Yeah.
But to add to that too, some older persons, they're very not professional when it comes to business.
Now you have to understand the old people, them, especially them ones with their passport.
Okay.
I want my passport. Would you say
Mhm.
I must go online banking? No, miss.
Mhm.
I want my passport. Go call your boss. I need my passport. That's the
Mhm.
older ones.
Mhm.
That's been them. And so we just have to have patience with them.
Agreed. Mhm.
And see, I think a lot of times when it comes to customer service, it all stems back from the way you were brought up. It stems back from the way some people just never like, in some culture, they would pass you straight by and never say good morning. And I'm
You
like,
know, I was just about to say my favorite customers are actually the senior citizens.
mm-hmm,
Those are my absolute favorite to deal with.
yeah, because they ain't got nothing to do. So
No,
they
you take
trying to
your
talk.
time with them, and I guess I approach it from a mindset that I'm
Right.
gonna be there someday,
Yeah.
and I would really like for
To
people to
listen. See, a lot of
listen
times.
and show compassion in the
Right.
way that I would want to be treated. I always think about them in terms of this is what my future is going to look like.
Yeah.
So I'm always very patient with them, take my time. There's one that comes to me specifically, and he walks with a walker, and he refuses to go to anybody else. And I'll
But
just
you,
Just
because
have
you
a
feel
seat.
comfortable.
I'll be with you. I walk over them. I tell them, sit down. What do you need?
Yes. Uh-huh. And that's what I say. And I think, like I say, even though we have like at Fidelity, we have 101A, banking 101 or
Yes, ma'am.
something.
Banking
Yeah.
101. Mhm.
Right. And even in that, sometimes, like I say, sometimes it have to, certain things you don't learn. It just becomes natural to you. Certain things you don't learn. And like I said, there's some people who just don't speak to people properly.
Mhm.
It's just I work with people that I know like that. It is what it is. But I say
Mhm.
when it comes to the customer, no matter what bad day you've been having, you have to say customer comes first. And until we learn how to do that, you go to the restaurant, you go anywhere, and
Mhm.
it's like, oh, and especially because we Bahamian, they looking at us like, oh, you go to Bahama, you go somewhere, some of them looking at you like, oh, what she come for? Oh, hope she got that money to pay that check.
Mhm.
That's the perception.
Mhm.
That's how they are. That's how people are. And sometimes a lot of people should not be in customer service. They should not be in an area where they have to deal with customer. They should be in back office, not
I agree.
where you have to deal with customer. And that's just my take on it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now I don't know. I don't see Parker, Nixon, Roberts, and Thompson. So I don't know if y'all
That's
want to get.
me.
Oh,
That's
Thompson.
me. Hi, Talia.
Okay,
Nixon.
Nixon. Okay. So it's Parker, Roberts, and Thompson. They're not here yet. Can we just,
Roberts is here.
okay, Roberts. Okay, Roberts is here. There's Parker and Thompson. Hi, Miss Roberts. We're just having a discussion, trying to kill time. Didn't want to start with, just the few persons who were here. Try to give everybody the opportunity to
Okay.
join because a lot of times people leaving work at 5:30, and now the traffic
Yeah, I'm
seems to
still
just be.
actually to work, so
You see,
I listen in though.
the traffic is actually. It's not like how it was last week. It's like plenty cars on the road. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
But thank you.
yeah. So I'm just trying to have a little conversation on customer service. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, like I say, I have the course outline. Somebody, I could hear a lot of noise in the back.
Oh yeah, sorry. That's me.
Yeah,
Hold on.
yeah.
Let me mute my mic.
Okay. Hi. So, like I said, the course outline, I have it, but Miss Dean didn't put it there, so I'm gonna email it to each of you along with another handout because there are two handouts in the back of the book, but there's another one on IDB talking about the impact of COVID on this little economy here. So, and then I have another one, the impact of COVID on business and banking. So I'm going to email that because like I was telling Ms. Barr that I'm going to give a project. It's an individual project. No one has to do it together because like I say, I don't do group project because I've had bad experience where I have had to do the project and give it to them and everybody get the grade because I did it because I'm not going to get an F. So I just did the
Right.
project. So it's everybody will have their own individual project to do. So I will have the topic for you next class and give you the time. And like I say, the handout that is in the back of the book is going to help you because it's going to deal with what is happening now with COVID and how the economy and how business, how NIB, how different play, how what is happening, what impact it has on these different entities. So yeah, as we know, COVID has really changed the entire world. So now it's the new normal for those who have kids. They have to make sure that they on their online class in the day. So it's the new normal. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. So while we wait, let's just each person introduce themselves, where they work, and anything else they want to share. Thane, you want to go first? Because you're the head of the list.
Okay. My name is Nikia Bain. I work at Fidelity Bank and I'm a single mom of a 4-year-old.
Oh, you have to do that online class. Oh,
Yeah.
so how
So,
you
yeah.
gonna manage with that? It's like I just hear a lot of like I have like 2 persons in my unit. One person today had to work from home. The other person says she has to work from home on Wednesday because of orientation and yeah. So you have
Yeah.
someone to
So,
be doing that, eh? Because
yeah.
okay, well that's good. Yeah.
Mhm.
Miss Barr.
So my name is Delilah Barr. I work for Bahama Islands Cooperative Credit Union. I'm a single mom too, but my baby, thank God, is 20. So he deals with his own online classes. He's also in school.
Okay. Miss McKinsey.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Edrica McKenzie. I'm employed at Fidelity Bank, and I do not have any children as yet.
Don't rush.
Hey.
No, don't rush, especially in this climate of COVID.
Okay.
Miss Nixon.
Hi everyone, my name is Italia Nixon. I'm employed at Atlantis. I'm a single mom of a 10-year-old girl, and right now I'm taking up these courses to transition into the banking field.
So what is Atlantis saying? Any feedback from them?
No, nothing as yet, just a lot of hearsay, but nothing as yet.
Concrete from them.
Right.
Yeah, because I know the tourism minister was on and they were under director and they were just talking about I guess their hopes and plans, what's going to happen. They are saying that they want to reopen for October, November, but nobody knows. Because like I say, every day, it's like so depressing. Every day it's like, gee, we had 90 COVID? What? And the next day
Right.
we had 49. I'm like, where's and like I say, no matter what, people say I blame the government for allowing us to travel and say,
Yes.
come back. You ain't gonna do no test in 72 hours. Jesus, we could have killed how much people in 72 hours? And I'm gonna come back and I don't need to test. The minute I head off the plane, COVID say hi. The minute I
Yes.
go back on the plane, COVID saying hello.
Right.
How? How is it that I would like to know who advised the prime minister and say that made sense. I can simply say because of our office in Cayman, when I speak to Cayman, their borders were closed for March. Their borders, I don't know if it's open yet, but I know it's the end of August, it was still closed. They had 205 cases, I believe. One person died. They have 3 cases now. That's it.
Wow,
And
from
I think
March?
those 3 cases came because persons were traveling for medical reasons, but they didn't have any cases up to July. So I think those 3 cases came when persons had to travel abroad or residents who had to come back and stuff like that. But other than that, came into Barbados. Barbados has the strict rules. Barbados have 174. Okay, how in the world we competing with Jamaica, who have millions of people? How are we competing with Jamaica? We have 2,500. I guess today could be 26. It's like, why? And you know why? Because we as a nation, the people say no party. The people say no nightclubbing. What? How much people they arrested? Why? And because I just say we're not really enforcing
No.
this law. Because if we really do, they say in Barbados, them people so frightened, they doing what that woman say. They doing it. Us, you sell the coconut, boy, don't sell coconut. He looking at you, and what the boy say? Oh, he got to feed his family, and so he get locked up, and he get locked up, but he need to feed his family, so he back out there again. He telling you, I define the law, who you is. So I don't understand. Then you have people who having parties next door to you, but then they say, or people who coming over socializing, but then they say,
My
no
neighbors had a
gathering.
party yesterday.
What?
They had a party yesterday, big birthday party.
And you won't call the police?
A couple of us called the police.
And the police
The
ain't come?
police came and shut it down. Yeah, they came and
Well,
they shut
child,
it
they would
down.
know how to be calling the police, and the people in my neighborhood know me. I say straight. If I see, because I know I had some neighbors, every time you look, I look outside to my gate. I'm like, well, Jesus, well, who live here? Because they blocking me in. And they have everything lined off. That was before COVID, but trust me, if I see it, oh, I ain't got to worry. I'll drive to the police station from in the front if I have to. What? No.
Well, I like to call the police.
Miss Smith, I call the police for every party. I call 911.
Thank you.
Hi, your emergency? Yes, in the party.
Yeah,
It's
you
because
should.
of them we're still
Yeah,
inside.
we should do that. Not just leave it
I
alone.
call the
Not just
police every
feed
single.
and leave it.
That's why we have so much COVID. The girl, you walk from your job from Super Value because you have COVID and you in Super Value doing shopping. What the heck is this? They had to arrest her and carry her to one facility, and then she could be there robbing, but why? I don't like this. But sweetie, you was in your bed. Sure, you could have find somebody to go shop for you. You can go Blue Hill, and you can go to Super Value City or go somewhere else where they don't know you. You can go to Super Value and you're going to go shop. So you're in Super Value. You don't even know. Shopping, it's be like, when I go shopping, it's be like, oh, COVID. I just run in the shop and try to run out.
I
be
go
there
to
early.
the store early.
No long line.
Meet them opening. I'm trying to get in there and get
swear.
out. I go work home, that's it.
Because it's,
Where else?
you don't know.
And I
who
look at
has
everybody
COVID.
suspect.
And then so you have to try to.
You can't cough to work.
I
Miss
know.
a cough or sneeze to work, that's
You
it.
cough or sneeze, everybody looking at you. Oh, Andrea, you don't look good today. You okay? You don't get COVID? I say.
I go get the
But
temperature.
y'all is wear your
Security.
mask all the time. I can't wear no mask all day because Jesus, y'all have to pick me up from my desk. No, I cannot wear a mask like how I see y'all is wear the mask. I can't do that. I be stressed right out. I walk outside, no mask. You know how much time I start walking to the door? I say, Jesus, girl, wear your mask. I have to run back upstairs. No, but that's the new normal. So it is what it is. Imagine the younger children going to school and have to interact with their friends. You think you can keep them to say keep masks on?
Oh no.
They can be like, girl, your mask prettier than mine. Let me try yours. So what we can do? What we
They
can
be
do?
coming home with the wrong mask.
That's what I say. So what we can do? That's why I say I have a granddaughter. She is 2. My son say, oh, mommy. I say, school? I say, why y'all gonna be sending her to school? I say, she is only 2. She ain't missing nothing. She done could count from 1 to 20. She done could say ABC. What was she missing? Y'all better try let her keep watching Peppa Pig and all them rest of things that she learning
Some
from
kids
them.
like share their food and drinks.
That's what I mean. And you can't tell children don't distinguish between, social distancing. Girl, I see you for so long. Hug up, kiss. What we can do?
They will walk through the schoolyard holding hands.
That's what I did. They don't know, but girl, let me put on my hand sanitizer first. They don't know that I forgot. So it is what it is.
Children too excited. They ain't even remember no sanitizer.
Not only that,
They don't
because
remember none of
they've
that.
been away from school for so long, they just,
Exactly.
I want to see my friend. And what happens? Like I say, me, child, I old, so I kind of a little scared. I can't let nothing happen to me. No, two. I have three sons. One is lives in West. One, my younger one is in Canada. And every day they say, Mommy, please stay safe with Lord, you know, because in Canada, I think my son in Canada, he in Prince Edward Island, he said, Mommy, we had no cases. And then, see, they had one softball, something or soccer, something. Then they get 3 cases. So he
Oh,
said,
wow.
yes, they didn't have any cases. My son lives in Pittsburgh in the US. He said, Mommy, I try not to even listen to the news. I just try to, you know, keep myself protected and do the right thing so I don't get COVID. But it's like really out there. But what I tell people, what I do prevention is better than cure. So I have my little ginger, my turmeric, my lemon, my orange, and I boil them all, and my garlic, I boil them all together, and I drink that every morning. So me can't afford to get sick. So I try that prevention, and then I take the zinc. Yeah, I try to do that because, like I say, you don't
Yeah, I'm
know.
taking the zinc too.
Yeah, you don't know who have COVID. Some people don't show any signs, you know. So you really don't know. You don't know. Anyway, my name is Andrea Smith. I work at Fidelity. I'm a senior accountant in the accounting department. I really do Cayman financials. I do Cayman accounting work. I've been teaching at Bahamas Institute of Financial Services 2015. Believe it or not, I went there. I graduated from BEST in 1997. I went
Oh,
on
wow.
to, yeah, I went, some of y'all probably wasn't born yet. And I went on to UCOB. I finished my associate there, went to Sojourner Douglas College, and did my bachelor's in banking and finance. Hi. Somebody else join? Hello? 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 I wanted to know if somebody else joined.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. And I finished my bachelor's, and then I did my master's right at BIS to the charter banker, Bangor University. So I now have my master's. And yep, it's been a long road, and that's why I always encourage persons to, it's never too late to start, but when you start, try to continue. Because a lot of times people say, oh, I'm not going to do this semester. When you take a break, it's like, okay, now I ain't doing this. So it's good to start and continue as long as you have the funds, or if your company is paying for it, just start and always try to put your best foot forward. Never try to feel that you can't do something, you know. So always do your best. And like I say, I'm not a rigid person like a lot of lecturers. We work through stuff. I'm not rigid to say, oh, if you don't come to class, that means I'm gonna fail you. Or if you call me and say I can't make it, I just tell you to read. And if we have a quiz, I would say, okay, you can do the quiz when you come to class. I'm not the person who's gonna say, oh, you miss it, you miss it. No, that's not me. I try to work with students because I know how it felt me going through classes and how some lectures were not very good because they were very strict, and it's like, oh, no class participation, then you get nothing, and stuff like that. So like I say, anything I want you to do is read and come to class so we can have a lively discussion. Any questions that you need to ask, just to interact. Because like I say, me once speaking, it's rather boring. And I don't like it, because if I've always told the class, if I have to be the one always speaking, then if I come to class and I said, who's read? And nobody like, oh, Miss Smith, I was so busy this week. I used to have so much work, and the next, and them children and the rest. I was like, okay, let's have a test. And that's what I do.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that's what I do. Close the books. Well, you didn't read, but our last discussion was that you read. And like I say, as long as you do your part, like I say, I'm not a rigid person, so I'm going to always work with you. If it takes 5 points for you to move to another level in the grade system, if you're to a C plus and it takes 3 or 5 points to move, I will move you up. It's according to how you participate in class. I'll say, okay, yeah, I'll give her a B or B minus. It's like that. I don't set out and I don't want anybody to fail because I know a lot of persons, it's hard, especially now. So you don't want to fail a class and have to come back and take it again. So like I say, as long as you work with me, I work with you. And so as long as you do your part, you'll be fine. But the only thing, like I say, I really appreciate if I say to you, read, when we come to class on Monday, this is a discussion. I want you to come with questions. I want you to come with ideas. I just want you to participate. And once you participate, like I say, right now we were going around, we were talking. It was lively, but we weren't talking, no. Like I tell them, I don't do kindergarten. So on the kindergarten that you have to say that's A, that's B, no. We are adults, so we come together, read, have questions, bring your own ideas. You might have saw an article from the central bank. Like I saw something in the Punch today. I hope it ain't true. But the U.S. lent us 750 million.
I started
So
to.
our dollars don't get devalued. I'm like, what the ticket is this? But our dollars getting devalued. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, no. So like I say, the governor of the central bank say this. I'm like, no. And so I do that a lot. I would read the papers and try to come to class and try to just talk about it. Not every time we have classes, I'm going to just stick to the book. We're going to come off the topic sometimes, but it's going to be something that will enlighten you and some things you don't even know. So as I say, I read articles and I try to come to class with it. So I'd appreciate if you do the same sometimes. I know we all have a busy schedule. So like I say, what I do when I was in class, I would always come. I had 3 kids. I had 2 children, 1 and 2. I would come home, take care of them. And sometimes I'm studying, one on my lap and one on my chest. And I have the book up studying. So I try to do that. So, and when they got older, what I did, I would go to sleep and wake up and 2, 3 o'clock in the morning is the best time to study. Everyone is asleep, but I come home and I get some sleep first. And then I pick up the book later when everyone is asleep. So that's my way, even when I did my master's, that's how I studied. Yeah. So that's just so Thompson and Parker, they're not here. So anyway, let's talk about the class, the grading system. Class quiz is 10%. And like I say, the only time you'd get it unexpected, if I say to and you don't read, I usually have my quiz makeup and I just say, okay, quiz, because everyone is just relying on me to have this discussion. And like I say, and like you all would say too, it's boring when one person is speaking.
I agree.
And so class quiz is 10%. The homework, which I say is a project, which I will have for you next week, it's 15%. The midterm is 25%, and the finals is 50%. And unlike in the certificate courses, the passing mark is higher. When I teach risk management in the diploma course, believe it or not, a 55 is a passing mark in the diploma course. A 55 in the certificate course is a fail. You have to get 65 and above to pass the certificate course, like business or banking.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Sorry,
Okay,
do you mind repeating what you said? You said the class quiz is 10%, homework
I'm going to give you all, I'm going to send you all the,
Okay.
welcome, Miss Parker. Hello. I see she's on. So yeah, I'm gonna give. Well, I can always give you y'all on tomorrow, but the others I will send it to y'all. Like I say, class quiz is 10%. Homework, which is a project, is 15%, which I will have available for y'all when we meet again next week. Midterm is 25%. Final is 50%. And usually, I'm not a person who likes, when I first started teaching business of banking, and didn't take the advice of Miss Dean. She said, Andrea, the lecturer who taught before you, she always did multiple choice and short answers. Me, I say, no, girl, I can give them essay. Well, when I had to sit down there to mark 21 students with 4 essays, each one of them, I realized that never will I take that road again. So my exams are usually multiple choice and short answers. You'll never see me asking you to write an essay or something in the exam. And usually when I give you, if I'm giving you a midterm, I probably give you 150 or 200 questions, and your exam will come from that. The multiple choice will come from that. I give you time that you can actually go over the multiple choice and choose your answers and the exam. You don't know which one I'm going to give you, but that's what I do. So at least you have an eye there that it's multiple choice. With the finals, I do the same thing, short answers and multiple choice. Who don't like, somebody say, y'all don't like multiple choice, say. Who was that? Didn't sound like they like multiple choice.
It
I
wasn't
don't
me,
like
but some multiple choices are tricky.
Oh, they say that but me. Miss Smith, you just like to give us them tricky multiple choice. I say you may get 1 or 2 of them. You don't get all. Some of them is just totally straightforward. Who's that?
Sorry, that's my daughter.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, but multiple choice, that's the exam. Short answers and multiple choice. I don't do the essay. That's why I'm giving you a project. And even the quiz, most of the quiz is multiple choice and short answers. So you get like 10 or 15 questions, multiple choice, and that's how it is. I don't run on. Yeah. Okay, like Miss Parker. Hello? I know she says she's here. It's not on. The textbook, the 2 persons who said they didn't have it, I will make sure Miss Dean sort that out. As persons who has the book, the first chapter just talks about the actual history of banking, which deals with the UK, the Bahamas, and some in the US. So it talks about the history of banking. And I know some of you may not be aware of some of the histories and how long some of the banks have been around, like a Commonwealth, like a Bahamas Development Bank. These are some of the banks that we talk about in chapter 1. And chapter 2 will talk about what is banking. Can any of you say what is banking? What do you think it is? What does banking do? If we
So
didn't
for
have
me,
banks,
sorry,
go ahead.
it's providing a financial product or service to a customer.
Right. And if we didn't have banks, what would happen? What would people do? Because even back in the on the family islands and before a lot of banks really was out there, what service did they use?
Post
Trade?
office.
The post office. Yes. They still have the post office up to today. They
They
still
still do
have.
that?
Mhm.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yes, people still have accounts right here in Nassau. The post office, they still have savings account. Do you remember the last time when they talk about the big fraud of 600 and something
I
thousand
was
dollars,
about to say that's really not
right?
secure.
Right? 600 and something $1,000 gone missing. I don't think it's not regulated. I don't even know if anybody does an audit on it. So I guess if people really, I guess some people have already died, but if people really, really take a glimpse of it, I'm sure we have a lot of persons who lost a lot of money in that system. Yeah, but yeah, just last year, the guy with six something $1,000. I don't know if his case came up again yet, but that's why it's good to have banks. And like I say, with anything, it's a risk because persons, okay, I open an account with the bank. You know, sometimes, and I could say for bankers, a lot of times bankers, they open an account for a customer. Do we tell the customer the full pros and cons of opening this account? Some customers will come to you and say, oh, I want to open a checking account. Some people don't even, some customer service rep don't even question to say, why do you open a checking account? Some services suggest not for certain persons. Because I think sometimes we have persons who feel that when I open a checking account, I could just write a check. They don't know they have to have money on that account. And people do it. People do it. So,
And the fees
right,
associated.
it's a lot of fees. And so a lot of times, because customer service rep, when a person comes and just say, I want to open, you inquire first and you say, why? And you say to them, I think a savings, hey, we also have an ASU savings where it's restricted, so you can't, you could save in that. You could save for 6 months and you could do it like that. And then if you want to roll it over, you can roll it over. And the rate is a little higher than the regular savings. So I think if we do that to customers sometimes we just have to pry. And even too, in the banking system, if we did not have banks, where do you think persons would put their money? And with this crime situation now, what would happen?
Money will get stolen.
Yeah, and not only that, nowadays, somebody was just telling me about how they saw a video of the guys driving by, somebody's camera, they saw no one there, they stopped, they opened the hood, take the battery, drive down the road again, nobody come out again, they drive back up, they take the whole hood off the car. So imagine no banks. Oh, I know her. She must have got the money under that mattress.
Oh yeah.
Right. So what happened? But like even so, we put money up in the bank. Yes, we do that. It's still our duty to ensure that we safeguard it by being alert to say, okay, hey, where this withdrawal come from? I don't remember taking this money off my account and going into the bank because as we all know, there's no perfect nothing. We have persons who work in the bank, persons who work different places. They compromise the system. So
Absolutely.
things happen. So you have to be aware when you save to monitor your account. It mightn't be much. And like I always tell young people, even if you save $20 a week, save something. You'd be amazed at how much that $20 could grow in about 4 years. Just try to save. A lot of times Bahamian people feel savings is, oh, I need to put up $500. No. When you're going to get a loan, bank look at the consistency, how you save. Whether you save $100 a month, they look at that and say, Miss Burrows was saving this $100 for the past 5 years. But look at it. All you see, she was always depositing that $100 every month. And that's why I say to young people and older ones, try that. Yes, things tough, but just try to save something every month out of your salary. Try to do it. Because like I always say, when we need our hair done and our nails done, we just do it. So like I say, try to save, if only $20 a week, try to do it. $100 a month, you'll be amazed. You won't even miss it. And same thing I say to people too, when you save a lot of money, You saved it, what you do. Okay, I want a car. Instead of taking that same money that you want to get that car, would you go to the bank, say, okay, I have $5,000. I want to get a car. I want to put that on fix and I want to borrow against that. The bank don't pay that much in interest, but the bottom line about it is you're going to pay them some interest and they're going to pay you some interest. And when you finish paying for that car, you got that money and you got the car instead of using your cash. And especially in the times we live in now, you have to think wise and say, I have this cash, this liquid. Let me put this in the bank, borrow against it. When I finish paying for that car, I still got the cash. Isn't that a good idea?
Makes sense.
I wish
Yeah,
I had
a
thought
lot of
about
young
that.
people. Yeah. And see, that's where I say, where it comes to people telling you, because now in the climate we live in, you look at the banks. I'm like amazed at people who still borrowing and just borrowing, and I'm like, God, y'all don't know this COVID.
Just consumer
Nobody
loans, yeah?
Yep, and the government people, oh my gracious, I remember when I worked in audit, I watched the flip over because I used to have to monitor. Man, you'd see them come to us, go to when we want to give them something, they get mad with us. They going back to Commonwealth. When they get mad with Commonwealth, I'm like, they see what people don't understand with loans. Your administration fees, government stamp tax, all these closing costs. Sometimes people get less money back when they have to do a consolidation than they get from their net proceeds. They doing a consolidation, they paying $1,000 in administration fees, they paying government stamp tax, they
Oh,
paying
wow.
something else, or they interest, they paying all these stuff, and guess what? What they getting back? They getting $1,000 back in net proceeds after paying off all the banks. And like I say, us as bankers, a lot of us as bankers do not tell persons, coach persons to say, do it better. But we all, I guess, in the rat race we're in with bankers, like us, most persons in my class, like last semester, they were bankers. And one of the ladies said to me, she worked at Commonwealth. She says she's telling people, oh, you need that loan. Oh, don't tell them you rent and say you live with your parents. I'm like, Jesus, but you're just making the person deeper in debt.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
do. That's what they do.
Well,
And then
they're
a lot,
trying to meet their bottom line, so
right, their target, their target. And so I'm like, but that's unfair. She said, well, I just trying to have them qualify. Like, no, you're not. You're just putting them more in debt. Then you get some persons who say, oh, I work for Peter, and then I have my next job. You don't work for Peter. Peter write this letter and say, oh, she's make $600. Then she make 3,000 on this where she working. So Peter giving you that 500, that $600 every week you making. Now you go to the bank to get a mortgage. What happens at the end of the day when the mortgage payment come? Where that 600 extra you get from Peter every week, it ain't there. People don't understand, even though you may try to cushion your salary and make believe that you're making all of this. When the rubber hits the road, what happens? Your mortgage falls behind because guess what? You didn't anticipate that, okay, this is the payment. You say you're getting six, so they work the payment on your debt service ratio. That's how it's worked to say, oh yeah, she can afford this because she's making $5,000 now when you're only making 3,000. So how are you going to pay for that mortgage? And see, a lot of times people don't know. Being dishonest sometimes is not good. It always ends up bad. And so I say with banking, this is the reason why banks are here. But like I think as bankers, a lot of times we don't do our job because, like Ms. Barr say, we want to make our targets. So we don't tell customers the real truth about things. We just go along with what they want to do. No, we as bankers have to, the only way we're going to get the country and persons thinking different if we try to show them different ways that they could do things. Like a lot of times with in bank, a lot of times customers come and you try to give them advice. They say, oh, why are you giving me advice? This is my business. I know what I want to do. So I guess sometimes some people be that way, but then some persons, they take your advice and they said, I'm happy I talked to you because now I look at it different and I'm gonna try to save more and then I'll come back. And sometimes that's what people do. Or some people just say, I take your advice and I'm gonna open that AC savings and I'm gonna save every month there. And because it's restricted, I can't take off it. That's what I'm gonna do. But like I say, a lot of times we don't, as bankers, don't tell customers. We tell them what they want to hear. So chapter 2 will deal with what is a bank. It talks about the types of banks. What are some of the types of banks we have here in the Bahamas?
Commercial?
Commercial,
Yeah.
offshore.
Offshore banks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Investment.
Yeah, we have investment. And like we know too now, insurance companies are banks because guess what? Insurance companies giving, saving, doing this, doing that. It's like, I remember back in the days, there were only two savings and loans banks. That was Finco and British American Bank, which is now Fidelity. They were the only two savings and loans because all we did was do savings and loans. We didn't venture far like how all the commercial banks was able to do. But now, as we see, insurance companies, Leno, CFAL, everybody is doing the same thing. So that's why I say customer service is what makes you talk, because everyone offers the same products. So we have all investment, offshore, trust. We have a whole slew of different type of bank. Like I say, the credit union is there too. It's not a bank as such, but it offers some of the similar service as banks do. So they too act as a bank. They're not full-fledged, like Ms. Barr say, certain things they can't do. So
Right.
and then we have the
But
products,
I
the
heard,
different types of products. Go ahead.
I heard Ms. Barr said earlier that the unions are not regulated. I thought they were
No, they're
regulated
not.
now.
No, central bank. This is something central
Wow.
bank has. It's there now. You know, they have documentation, but I don't think they've gone out in the field as such yet. Because when you see the central bank really go out there in the field, trust me, the credit union can have a whole different outlook. Because let me tell you, those regulators, oh my God, they throw you under the bus.
We're
Those
actually
regulators.
going through the process with them right now, some
Yep.
series of exams that's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they throw you under the bus.
Okay.
And then don't let's forget the is right around the, but I don't know what's going to happen now because of COVID. But they say everything is in motion with that. People, all the persons are in place. So we know what is the credit bureau all about.
I guess it's a body
The
that
credit
will-
bureau, like you know in the US, they have credit scores, right? The credit bureau is going to play that role here. So no longer I could go to a Fidelity, a Commonwealth, even going to take in consideration whether you pay your light, your water, your cable, your mortgage, everything into consideration when they're doing your credit score. All of that is going to be taken into consideration. And like how people hop from bank to bank, no, it's not going to happen anymore. Once you see the credit bureau is online, everything is going to be credit score, credit score. This is your credit score. That's your credit score. That's what's going to happen when the credit will not like the credit bureau too much because like we say, persons have to meet their target. And what's going to happen when the credit bureau come and oh, Andrea, she come to you all for a loan. No, this is a credit score. No, she can't have that. So this is going to be a problem, especially with the government people. It's going to be a problem because like I say, I never understand. I just joined the police force. My mother looks at me and say, girl, you know how much money I spent on you? Girl, you have that job now. You better try. Go to Fidelity, go get one loan because I need furniture. That's what happened. Parents put their children in debt because they feel, well, hey, I bring you up. You need to go to the bank to get that money for me. So you'll have parents walking in the bank with the children 20, 21, just pass out from the defense or the police or get one little government job. That's why when they were younger, your parents only say, girl, get a government job. That's all they always tell you. You need a government job. Because, girl, when you get a government job, you could get anything. Yes. And you could also put yourself in some debt that you can't get out of, because it seems to happen that once you come and you borrow 20, you go back, you borrow 30. Then when you look, you up to 80,000 in consumer loans with nothing tangible to show, nothing. Then you want to get married, get a mortgage. How you can get a mortgage and how you can get anything when you have an 80,000 consumer loan with nothing tangible to show, nothing. Oh, I get a car. Oh, I went on vacation. Oh, I buy clothes. Oh, I do this. Where nothing, not even a piece of property. I say to young people, if you're gonna do that, try to get a piece of property. You don't have to, it's just a start. Like a lot of times people want to start to be, girl, what? Girl, I ain't living in no Pinewood. Me? No. You get a start. And that same start could be a rental income for you.
I was just about to say, it's not as if you could sell it later.
Or you could rent it.
Or you could, exactly.
But a lot of people don't look at it. Sometimes people want to jump to the head of the line. They don't want to crawl first or creep. They want to just jump up and walk. And that's why a lot of times people put themselves in a lot of debt because they didn't plan it. They just jump into it. And so, like I said, when the credit bureau comes into really full into stream, banks is not gonna have the same leeway that they have now. Not at all. Okay. And then we're going to talk about credit creation. Credit creation totally deals with loans and how it's worked. And that's what the credit creation is all about. It'll also talk about the DSR, your debt service ratio, and all of that. Then we have chapter 3, which talks about bank and the economy. What is money? What is money supply? Have you ever heard about money and money supply?
Not the money supply, no.
No, I never.
So you're going to have a cycle with money, and in there, I have it. I show with the money, what is money. I talked about the commodities versus flat money. So it's there, and I put some little pictures there for you. Yeah. But it breaks it down and tells you have M1, M2, M3, M4, and so on. So we'll talk about it further. And I'm going to try to put up the slide on, because I have a slide for it to walk you through it, to show you how money is created. And then we talk about the monetary policies in the Bahamas. When we say monetary, what are we talking about? Who is involved in monetary policies in the Bahamas? The central bank. Central bank sets all policies and they deal with all the monetary policies. So central bank, who's the regulator of all banks, so they deal with that. So we'll go further into the monetary policies in the Bahamas. And then we talk about the overview of the financial services. And then we have chapter 4, which will deal with banking regulations, the need for regulation. Why do you think the central bank needs to regulate banks and other entities, banks, trust, investment, insurance? Why do you think the central bank has to regulate banks?
To prevent a loss.
Well, 2.
And then
Remember now,
we
the
have
central,
international.
remember with the central bank regulates because it has to protect the customer. Remember now, there was no regulation. Banks could do anything. Remember when the banks when interest increase, it just can't just increase like that. Because remember, the central bank is the one who deals with the prime rate. So when the prime rate increase or decrease, that's when you see the change in the interest rate, or That's when banks will change their interest rate, when central bank changed the prime rate. And remember now, when we have a lot of money in circulation, what happens to the interest rate?
It dropped.
Especially when it comes to loans. When it comes to loans, what
It drops?
happens? It
Okay.
drops. Yeah, because they drop the interest rate. And remember too, banks, when banks are liquid, they call in everybody to come get a loan. You can always tell when banks need money, because they would say to the staff, okay, we need y'all to go get some deposits, because they've already lent a lot of money out in loans. So now, remember now, deposit funds are loan. So the bank borrows the customer's money, because remember now, deposits are customers' money. So the bank used the customer money to fund loans. And so the bank, with central bank, the bank has to always have a certain amount of capital adequacy, liquid. No banks could, I've never heard in the Bahamas where a bank had to borrow from the lender of last resort, which is the central bank, who would give you a loan at a certain interest rate. We've never had to do that, because banks have a certain amount of capital adequacy that they have to maintain, how much liquidity. That's why every day a liquidity report has to be done in every institution, especially banks and insurance company and different places. You have to do that. You have to maintain. If central bank said, okay, your liquid ratio should be 15%. You have to make that. Like I said, I've never heard of a bank never having to borrow from central bank. But central bank, because of your deposit base, the central banks look at that, and then they set their liquidity target, which each bank has a different target. So you have to maintain a certain amount of liquidity every day. The banks have to do that. Because like I say, some countries, banks have to borrow from the lender of last resort, which they call the central bank. Yeah. And in chapter 4, we talked of the need for regulation, which I say, if central bank didn't regulate, what would happen to customers? There, a couple years ago, like I say, most of y'all are very young. So a couple years ago, many years ago, I don't know if any of you know of Gulf Union.
No, I've never heard of that.
No.
Gulf Union Bank went into liquidation with people money. I don't think hardly anybody got their money. Some people got, and that is the reason why. Do you know about deposit insurance?
Yes, I'm aware of it, about that.
Deposit insurance came about because of that same Gulf Union Bank.
Okay.
Wow.
And what a lot of people don't understand is that, yes, deposit insurance is there, and you have it on your money, but guess what? You could have $1 million in the bank, and you're only insured for $50,000.
Right.
So you're gonna tell me I have $1 million in the bank, and
Only
you go
50.
liquidation, you say I only get 50.
Mhm.
So a lot of times you have persons. That's why you find in the U.S. I think it's 100 or 150,000 that persons are insured up to. So that's why you see persons put money in several different banks,
Right.
try to stretch it out. So hey, if Fidelity go on liquidation, then they give me 50. They go back to somewhere else, put some money there. And as I say, a lot of people invest in bonds and stuff like that, because at least your money there. But when you put your money in the bank, you could have $1 million. But if anything, the bank go belly up, what's going to happen? What is liquidation? Liquidation. What is liquidation? Italia, to everyone. I'm sorry, I'm at work. She wants to know what is liquidation.
It's pretty much when the bank goes bankrupt.
Yeah, or any business. You never see, sometimes you have businesses go say for instance, just an example, liquidation, bankruptcy, the diver club or fishing thing,
Oh, Bahama
they
Divers. I read
had
about that last week.
they had to let go close because they have a $9 million lawsuit, and the courts awarded it to the person.
But Miss Scott, I have a
So they
question.
Mhm.
Is that legal though? Like how they
Yes.
were awarded it from the US?
Well, I guess so.
Okay.
Because guess what? Because see, you have to understand too. A lot of times you have people have asset and have money
Mhm.
here. They also have money in the US, have money in the UK. And so remember now when lawyers are doing their due
Mhm.
diligence, they invest, they searching everywhere for your money.
Okay.
They're gonna search everywhere. Just like they were talking today about how Carnival Cruise Line, the US charged them for something they did in our waters. And that's why they say how lousy is our government when US got money from it and it happened in our waters and we didn't get anything.
Okay. Understand.
Just like remember too with SACAS,
Mhm.
Bahama, they brought it here. Our lawyers didn't do too much with it. What happened? He went to the higher courts because and in the US and he got awarded. He was awarded, he won. But here, we didn't do a good job of it. So yes, they can go
Okay.
over, go somewhere else. Just like somebody was talking about, I don't know if any of you heard this about this years ago. They talk about this Derek Roll who had all this money and he was going to pay off
Yes, I heard
everybody's
about
loan.
that.
And it's right now it's circulating back up again because they're saying something about JP Morgan is now coming after the Bahamas government and the central bank because the central bank and they know and Royal Bank, they know that the money was here. I'm like, I still cannot believe that. I'm like, I just can't believe that because I cannot believe that the Royal Bank or the central bank would cover up something like that. But they're saying JP Morgan is coming after the government. So, and like I say, nowadays anything is possible. Yeah, but liquidation is like just like bankruptcy, and they use like that's why you see a lot of times with when it was different businesses like Clico in liquidation. You see they have the different accounting firms dealing with it.
Mhm.
Look at Clico. That's why you have to make wise choices. How many people took their money out of Fidelity or took it from a Commonwealth or a Royal Bank and took it to Clico because Clico was offering a higher rate? And what happened? And I say to anybody, if a company is going to give you a higher rate on your money, check what services they're offering. If they're not offering loans or investment where they could give you back that money, why would you put your money there? Just because they're offering you a 6% when Fidelity was giving you 3%. And that's what a lot of people did. Their pension, their life savings, and they took it to Clico and they lost. They lost because they didn't look, and like we say again, persons just want to meet targets. So they don't tell people the full story. And a lot of times people are so excited about the interest rate that they don't ask the question. You know, they just sign. And so a lot of people lost because of that. So Clico now, I meet people. And that's the same thing I say about BAF. BAF offer a good rate. I know they give loans and at what how much, how big is their loan portfolio? I don't know. But you have to always think first. If I'm at a bank where their loan growth or their income, then that income is so much. Why will I look at BAF, compare it to a Fidelity or a Scotia or Royal Bank? Look at their investment, look at their balance sheet, look at their income statement before you decide that, oh, girl, I can't carry my money. No, because guess what? If something looked too good to be true, it is. And that's how a lot of people lose at Clico. That's how come a lot of persons lost their money and they can't get it back. They can't get it back. Just like I say with Gulf Union Bank, you know, And so that's why they say your reputation. And reputation, if somebody says, girl, I hear Fidelity closing, the line could be long because everybody come to take their money out. And that's why they tell you bad publicity is not good. So, because if a customer comes and say, girl, I went there and their service is so terrible, word of mouth, keep getting around. And that becomes your reputation. So your reputational risk is ruined. And sometimes people don't understand bad service could take away a lot of your business. And so when a customer here, when persons heard the Gulf Union was closing, just took one person and that word spread because they were where Thingham is now by the Hilton, that right there by Dunkin' Donut. They were right there. And man, that line was so long because everybody was trying to get their money. And a lot of people didn't, So that's why I say, and so in chapter 4 with regulation, you're gonna see why regulation is needed. We're gonna talk about the Basel Accord 1 and Basel 2 and the different pillars. Then we're gonna talk about the Financial Service Authority, the banking regulations in the UK. And then I'm gonna also talk about the type of risks in banking. Any one of you would know any risks, what type of risks in banking?
Credit risk.
Yes. Your credit risk, interest rate risk, it's a whole slew. Operational risk, it's a lot of risks. And these are all tested in your exam.
Okay.
Then you have chapter 5, which is the main part when it deals with customer service. It talks about what is a bank, what is a customer, talks about the customer relations, the bank's duty to the customer, duty of bank secrecy. Secrecy. When you hear about secrecy, what comes to mind?
Confidentiality.
Yeah, right. Do you feel that a lot of persons working in any organization where they shouldn't divulge information, do you think a lot of persons are 100% committed?
No, they're not.
No.
I know I had a situation where it was a family member of my husband, and I worked at Finco then, and she needed some information on a customer, and she used to work at another bank, and she wanted some information, and that's at the point in time when we stopped giving information like that. Like we used to call the banks and give information, but that practice had ceased. And she got really mad with me because I said, no, I cannot give that to you. And she stopped talking to me for years. And I was like, how could you want me to breach a contract that I signed for confidentiality? I cannot do that. And that's what a lot of times you have. And a lot of times people innocently say things, but you have to remember that you sign a contract, confidentiality, and you could get fired because of that. No matter who it is, your sister, your brother, your child, certain things should not be divulged about a customer relation with the bank or any institution that you work for. But a lot of people don't do that. They still talk. How you think a lot of information is leaked when the government shut us down? Why?
Yeah,
How?
it comes from somewhere.
How?
From the inside.
What people is
That's
say,
right.
pillow talk. Your husband come home and he say, well, hey, we shutting down. She get on the phone, call her. Edrica, hey, girl, let me tell you. Edrica get on the phone, call
They
somebody
can't
else.
tell nobody, but they telling everybody.
So everybody knows today. This is sort of, hey, girl, because sometimes when I see the thing, I was on Wi-Fi line, the white man was on the phone. He said, yeah, I just got a message. We getting logged on. So I did a bite now. You gotta go to the food store. I'm like, Jesus. So that's how everybody just say, don't talk it. And everybody just talk, So like I say, chapter 5 will deal with bankers' customer relation. And then chapter 6, we'll talk about customers and accounts. Talk about the different types of accounts. What different type of accounts do we have?
Deposits,
Mhm.
savings accounts.
Yeah.
Loans, business.
And don't forget those church accounts and all those other stuff.
They come
Yeah.
under what, charity?
Mhm. And then, like I say, in all of that, it's going to talk about the opening of a bank account, the different documentations you need, stuff like that. We'll see in chapter 6. Chapter 7 will deal with payments, talking about wire transfers, talking about credit cards, talking about checking accounts, talking about domestic banking payment, like I say, wire transfer, international transfer, like what we have with, like we're gonna wire some money to the UK. Well, you know, we've not been doing that for a while because after this COVID, the governor or the central bank has decided to, I hear you can't wire transfer monies as much as people have been doing it. You'd find a lot of inter-transfer, like with different banks and stuff like that. And then we talk about the ACH, the clearing, they call it BASH, clearinghouse, where, you know, before there was a time when you could write a check and it take 3 or 4 days, right? Now, when you write a check today and thinking, if you didn't have that money there today, get to know, ACH is automatic, direct. So the file come to Fidelity from RBC, and that's why they have ACH. So now everything is online. It hits right away. So when you write a check and your bank is clearing it with Fidelity, no longer you say, girl, I got a couple days, girl, I ain't got to worry, girl, I can put that money there. Money in there today. You write a check today, you better pray and hope that person didn't put the check through. Other than that, the money ain't there. NSF. And you know what NSF costs now? Remember when it was $5? It's 28 something now. I'm like, Jesus, that's for a check? Okay. But still, the VAT money. Where's all of this money we taking in? Where is it? Where is it going? And like nobody, like I've been saying, even so, since COVID came into play, have you ever heard the government get up and really talk about the financial state of our country? Peter Turnquest is going to come on Wednesday. He must have heard a lot of people been on talking about how terrible it is. We don't even know the state of our economy. We don't. So now he's going to come on Wednesday about the state. But I'm saying, why do we have to borrow so much money when VAT was at 7.5% and we made so much money? It's at 12%. What are we doing with the VAT money? That's another.
Asking that question since the inception.
Thank you. Where is it?
Where is it going?
Yeah, nobody's telling us. And every time you go to the shop, I be like, Jesus, all of that is VAT. So if it's I'm one person, so imagine everybody having to pay VAT. Where's the money going?
And we're paying VAT on everything, almost everything.
Everything.
Just about
everything. Because before you could buy building materials for a certain amount of money, and you don't have to worry. Jesus, now even VAT on water bill, light bill. So where's the money? Huh? Where is the money? Every time you get your light bill or your water bill, that big fat VAT right there. You know. So
I still don't understand how it's legal to charge
amazing.
tax on a tax. Because, for example, our light bill, we pay, we already pay a tax on that. So how do you?
Yeah, and then
what is it? Fuel surcharge?
Oh, don't talk about that fuel surcharge. That is
right,
more than the bill. That's been more than your consumption.
Charge me 12% on a tax.
Thank you.
You can't tell me that ain't illegal.
Well, so much things illegal in our country, but because we as Bahamians don't.
Same thing with duty. Duty is a tax, customs duty.
Yeah.
So how do I pay?
But you're charging me tax on the duty. Yep.
But Ms. Smith, who do you? Government too.
Good question.
Like, who do you report them to?
We have to. You see what the people do? They all get locked up. They said the only way we could think. Look at the situation when they had the the 6 persons come in and gone to Life It or wherever.
Hmm.
I mean, it was all of them who allowed them to come in,
Mhm.
but who had to take the blame? One person.
Yep.
Okay,
Mhm.
one person. It was all of
Mhm.
them because he ain't in charge, plane coming
Right.
in. He ain't in charge, tourism. He ain't in charge, country. All of them
Mhm.
agreed, but who had to take the
Mhm.
fall? Him.
One person.
One
Hmm.
person. That's right. So, like I say, we just have to, I guess we have to, I mean, police and the government is like you say, who do we report them to? Because they really don't, like I say, I have never, ever understand every year, every 5 years, we do the same thing over, we get the same results.
Mm.
What do we do? And chapter 8, we're going to also talk about the payment system, but we're going to talk about the check clearing cycle. Then we're going to talk about checks being presented. And then we talk about internet banking, like the ATM and all of that, the credit cards and stuff like that. Chapter 9 will deal with lending. So we'll hit lending. And here you'll see where I talk about the personal credit score. You'll see that in that chapter also. Bank security really talks about when you get a loan, you have to search the title, make sure it's okay. And we know many lawyers have gotten into trouble because they say, oh, my lot is lot C, I bill in. Come to find out my lot is lot B. The next person being really mean say, oh no, you ain't moving that off that property. That's my property.
Mhm.
I ain't giving you that property. I don't care what you want to pay. That's your property. So you got to start all over. And whose fault it is? Because the lawyers didn't do their due diligence to make sure that the title, the lot say, that's Andrea, that's lot C, not lot B. So here again, that's another issue. We know the situation we had a couple years ago with Sunshine Holdings and the church on the Charles Sanders
Oh, I remember
Avenue
that.
when they break the whole church down. And so that's a gist of all the chapters we'll cover. But like I say, we're going to also go over the business of banking in the new normal. That's a handout that Miss Dean didn't put in. And then I also gonna just elaborate on how business of banking has changed, forcing customers to do business differently, the effects of COVID and its impact on businesses around the world. And the 12, I'll talk about the COVID. Like I said, a handout is there, but I'm going to expand on it by talking about, because I gave Miss Dean all of this, the NIB, how it's affecting NIB. Like I said, I want to bring it home to talk about it, how national insurance is being affected, unemployment benefits. And as we know, national insurance said at the end of September.
September, yes, ma'am.
So what are we going to do?
Mhm.
What are we going to do?
Good question.
What are we going to do? That's the only question I need answer from the government on Wednesday. When we talk, they need to say we have how much thousands of people? They say 50 something thousand people ain't working. What are we gonna do? What will we do?
Well, my coworker was just listening to the Eyewitness News, and the Prime Minister announced that all hotels will reopen on October 15th.
Hopefully though.
With all this COVID, every time you
Hopefully.
look at the news, so COVID, if these
The
people
Minister
go
of
out
Tourism,
party,
sorry.
Let's pray for the best.
that's all we could do. Because every time I hear them talk about one storm in the tropics, I'd be like, Lord, please,
And I
Father.
just heard that today.
I'd be like, Lord, please, Father. You we done had Dorian. Lord, we really can't, and we got COVID. We can't handle that. Lord have mercy on us. I swear, we cannot handle anything else. And I want to talk about what does 2021 future looks like for business and banks with COVID. So they're the stuff we're going to cover. And like I say, your project is going to some way be around talking about COVID and COVID on our little the Bahamas and how do we get out of it? What do we do? So that's the gist of our business of banking. But like for all of you, book, I'd like you to read chapter 1. And like I say, chapter 1 is really just talking about the history
Right.
of the banks in the UK, the Bahamas. And like I said, when I started to do it, you'd be amazed. Certain things I didn't know, certain people I didn't know was involved in certain banks. So yeah, you'd be amazed. Any questions, any concerns?
Mhm.
No.
Oh, good. Well, I'm not going to keep you for, come Monday next class. Now we're going to be here for, I usually let class out by 8:30
Okay.
or a little after 8. But today, I just wanted to do a recap of what we're going to cover. And like I say, with some classes like chapter 4, which deals with money, I'm going to have slides for you all to see.
Okay.
What is the name of the book and where can I get it? Oh, she's typing. Oh, child, I don't know how to type on this thing. Yeah, I learned.
It's at the bottom
Um,
of the screen on the right side where you see everyone in file. You could type a message.
I just need to probably reach out or one of y'all who know how to type on the bottom.
I'll tell you.
Tell her that she can get the book. That's what's the name of this one?
At Biff's?
What it is? I can't remember. Yeah, just tell them it's at Biff's, Miss Dean.
Mhm.
Be able to get it. Business of Banking. Because it's a book that I put together.
Oh, she says she can hear you. Uh-huh.
She can
Okay.
hear, yeah. Because I put this book together. Yeah, so yeah, you can just get it from Biff's. Yeah, Biff's will be there.
Sorry if I'm seem a little distracted. I'm cooking and listening.
Fortunate you.
Right.
From this COVID thing, I don't buy food out. I meal for the beginning of the week. I cook every evening to carry my food to work.
Child, I trying to do that because my son is he doesn't eat meat anymore, and so I'm trying to get on this plant based. So today I just had
Oh,
sweet potato with cauliflower and plantain, and that's
oh
what
You're
I
gonna
wow.
be
had.
skinny.
I want to be. I got so fat. I need to
You're gonna be
lose weight.
skinny.
I need to. I have so much clothes in my closet
Don't
because
give them away. Don't give
every
them
time
away. No,
give it away. No, child, they ain't
no.
getting giveaway. So I gotta lose the weight. And my son said, "Mommy, if you want to, you have to do the plant based." So he sent me the book. It's just that I've been looking for the like he tell me the plant based chicken and the hot dog. I said, but I can't find them in no food
Yes,
store.
you can. You can.
Where,
So,
where?
Fresh Market, Little General sells the plant-based Beyond Meat.
Oh, I better go
Little
there then.
General has the
Hey,
Beyond Meat line.
oh, I need
Even
to
Super
go there
Value
then.
House. Super
I ain't
Value
gonna
has
know.
those
I
too
see
on
Super
Market
Value.
Street.
No, man.
Market
Market
Street.
Street, eh? Oh, because I
You
able.
could get they have a lot of different variables of the veggie burgers
Oh, child, I
and
gotta
other
go to.
plant-based
I
related
going
things
to
like
Live
Yes, for sure,
General,
Little
but
General has
that.
the Beyond Meat line.
Yeah.
Hey, but the
Okay,
girl, the
then.
COVID ain't there no more. I hope. You remember they say they had COVID. They say the guy from Thompson Tree come there, and because they had to close down, come there, and one of the cashiers get it.
Oh, wow.
So
sound like you need to send someone from Croydon for
listen,
that.
I swear. Oh, I gotta put on my old bodysuit and go in
Yes,
there.
that's right.
Put on your rubber suit.
I swear. Yeah, but like I say, we'll end early today, but next week we will be back on track when everyone should have their books
And
by
you want
then.
chapter 1 read by then, you said?
Yes, please, and come with questions. Come so we can have a lively discussion.
Okay.
All righty.
Okay.
Okay.
Take care.
All right, good night,
And
everybody.
Evening.
Night.
Good
Good night.
night.
Okay.
Turn this off for me, please. Turn this off for me, please. Yeah, let's finish for today.